Right now at noon, the Oklahoma governor signs off on stricter sentencing. Right now, the Oklahoma governor signs off on stricter sentencing.
And we're tracking showers and thunderstorms as those clouds continue to increase. So look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Pitt State students look to make change in the lives of others.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. New at noon today, Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signs a bill into law enacting changes to criminal sentencing. Laura and Ashley's law will now aid in strengthening sentencing requirements, ensuring those who take part in such crimes face stricter consequences. The law is named after 2 girls, Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman, who went missing in December of 1999. Ashley's parents were found murdered in their burned home, and their disappearance launched a decades-long investigation, leaving family, friends, and an entire community desperate for answers. And the primary suspect, Ronnie Busick, eventually agreed to a plea deal in 2020, pleading guilty to accessory to murder, kidnapping, and arson. As part of the agreement, he was required to provide information that could lead to the discovery of Laura and Ashley's remains. However, Busick's cooperation was limited and no new leads emerged. In 2023, Busick was released early from prison due to good behavior. The Facebook page Find Laura Bible, run by Laura's family, released a statement on the bill being signed, saying in part, quote, "Though the law will not help us, the girl's memory will live on, helping another family that may be affected by such horrible crimes, and for that we are so grateful," end quote. The law goes into effect November 1st. A Crawford County judge yesterday sentences a man and a woman for their roles in the fatal drug overdose of a teenager. The suspects are 39-year-old Tabitha Wilson of Pittsburgh and 47-year-old William Davis of Girard. Authorities say they had distributed fentanyl, which led to the death of 18-year-old Cooper Campiti. The teen was found unresponsive in his Frontenac home in April of 2023. Wilson gets just over 5 years in prison for involuntary manslaughter and distribution of fentanyl. Davis gets nearly 4.5 years for distribution of fentanyl. Crawford County Attorney Rina Probert says fentanyl cases are increasing in the county, and her office will continue to prosecute cases like this. Well, authorities are investigating reports of gunfire from a vehicle in Frontenac overnight. It happened around at 10:15 Sunday night in the 800 block of North Cayuga Street. No injuries are reported, and the suspect's vehicle is described as a dark-colored Chevrolet Avalanche. Anyone with information is asked to contact the Frontenac Police Department. Now let's head over to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we're going to start that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. We've got the clouds, but not the rain yet, but it is on the way. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline. Plenty of folks out there getting their day underway, or well, not getting their day underway anymore. Heading out to lunch. Cloudy skies there as well. Skywatch Storm Tracker. Here comes that rain, almost right exactly where Future Track said it would be. You can see also, when we back this here, you can see a few lightning strikes. So there are some embedded thunderstorms, but what you don't see is anything highlighted for severe activity. All of that is, again, staying to the south, and that's where it's expected to remain, is down to the south. Some stronger storms may get as far north as maybe I-40, but we should be okay. No severe weather expected here. 72 in Joplin, 74 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures, we've got some upper 60s, but most of us are in the low to mid 70s, so right about on track with those temperatures so far. As the clouds increase, the rain increases, temperatures will level out. We'll fall down eventually in the low 60s by 11, with those thunderstorm chances again increasing as we head into the overnight hours. As I mentioned, no severe weather is expected, but we do have a few rainy days ahead. We'll break down the details for you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. We'll see you soon. Pitt State social work students are stepping up and giving back, showcasing a lineup of philanthropic projects aimed at making real change in their communities. From foster care support to mental health advocacy, these students are addressing some of society's most pressing issues. Many say their projects have a personal connection to them or someone they love.
Collected carbon monoxide detectors, smoke detectors, and first aid kits. These are items that all foster homes need to have in order to become licensed foster homes.
The goal was to try to get as many people on campus by tabling to raise awareness and to get signatures to present to this legislative session.
And I then partnered with all these resources you see here to host an independent living fair.
The professor says students gain valuable leadership skills while benefiting people in the Pittsburgh area. Well, the Joplin Area Chamber of Commerce announces this year's winners of the Golden Apple Award. Now, the award recognizes teachers in the Joplin community. This year's winners came from a list of 52 teachers nominated by peers, students, and parents. This year's winners are Stephanie Lynch of Soaring Heights Elementary School, Aaron Geating of McKinley Elementary School, Ann Landrum of New Heights Christian Academy, and Brad Douglas from Joplin High School. All of these nominees and those who nominated them were recognized during a ceremony at Missouri Southern. Big congrats to all of them. Well, coming up, Missouri lawmakers work to change a sick leave mandate. We'll have the latest. And later, we're making croissant bread pudding in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Recently, President Trump signed an executive order to cut federal funding to public broadcasters, NPR and PBS. Now, these cuts could have serious ramifications for Arkansas PBS's budget, which depends largely on federal funding. Andrew Mobley has the story.
Trump's executive order yesterday comes after complaints by the president and many conservatives across America that the country's largest public broadcasters have a left-leaning political bias.
It bothers me that sometimes PBS gets collared in with NPR. I really think that they're two different animals. NPR goes way too far in their opinions.
But where local NPR stations receive on average 8 to 10% of their funding from the federal government, 15% of Arkansas PBS's budget is federally funded.
It's not like we've got a lot of extra money laying around. I mean, what would we cut? Well, something would have to be cut to survive.
PBS brought this on themselves. As it says in the executive order, their news agency side has been very biased.
State Senator Dan Sullivan is one of Arkansas PBS's most vocal critics, taking issue with its poor performance in audits and during this most recent session, threatening to dissolve its board and place it directly under the Department of Education.
At home, and we watch a lot of PBS broadcasting. When it comes to their news hour, I turn it off. The state or the federal government should not be spending public dollars on news programming.
It's unclear when or if the Trump administration will enforce the executive order, but if it does, the situation may be dire for Arkansas PBS.
There's not going to be any other entity that broadcasts the legislature, the meetings, and providing the transparency in government that Arkansas PBS does. There's not going to be anybody else that tells the stories of Arkansas and the history of Arkansas like Arkansas PBS does. And there's nobody else that's going to educate Arkansas's teachers and its students the way Arkansas PBS does. A horrible loss for our state to encounter if PBS was shut down. I hope that's not the case.
Now, the move against PBS and NPR comes as the Trump administration has been working to dismantle the U.S. Agency for Global Media, including Voice of America and Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty. Well, a bill in Missouri would undo a voter-approved proposition supporting paid sick leave and minimum wage increases. Now, last week, Missouri began state-mandated accrual of paid sick leave, something voters approved in November, known as Prop A. But some state lawmakers hope to pass a bill that would change that law. Now, currently, employers with fewer than 15 workers must allow workers to earn at least 40 hours of sick leave per year. For larger employers, it's at least 56 hours. Under the bill, the requirement would apply only to employers with 25 or more employees who work an average of at least 35 hours per week.
Our business community needs to hear that our elected leaders also stand with them and want to make sure that we are a state where businesses can flourish and are not forced to these high cost mandates.
You just wish that some of these folks in power would say, yep, you won this one, and then move on.
The Missouri legislative session ends on May 16th. And still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Need a last-minute something for Mom? We've got it. And is she ever gonna love it?
And showers, thunderstorms beginning to roll into the area. We've got to look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So again, temperature's not too shabby out there so far, and clouds are continuing to increase because, well, rain is continuing to increase in coverage as well. Let's start with that look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Again, cloudy skies are setting in. You can see there's still some sunlight getting through because some of these clouds are somewhat thin, but they will thicken up because of this activity here that's rolling into northeastern Oklahoma as we speak. So down around Grove, stretching back through all of our counties except Ottawa County. You're still technically, at least from radar perspective, dry, but we have additional showers and thunderstorms continuing to roll up, and every so often you see we get patches of lightning within this batch of rain. No severe weather is expected out of any of this activity over the next couple of days, but we do have a couple of days of scattered showers and storms that will continue. The severe threat, though, is staying actually well to our south. We've had some mornings near Dallas. That activity's eased up. The worst of it now is back down across southern Texas. You can see northeast of Austin, they've got that tornado warnings in place. But again, for us, nothing like that expected here. We'll just have those showers and storms that'll continue progressively to spread across the area. So you can see off to the northeast by 2, we still have Fort Scott, maybe even Pittsburgh, Chanute, Nevaeh, Lamar, Stockton. No rain yet, but it's now starting to creep in, like Miami, Coffeyville, closing in on Parsons, Oswego, most of Cherokee County, into Joplin. Eventually, all of us will have these chances for scattered showers and storms as we go through the evening and into the overnight hours. Now, tomorrow, we start off soggy. These storms, again, I want to emphasize too, are scattered, so you can see some of you may get pauses in the rain before another round rolls through. Our biggest concern with any of the rain that we're expecting is you see these red splotches. That's thunderstorm activity. It doesn't necessarily mean it's severe thunderstorm activity, just thunderstorms. And within some of the storms, especially tomorrow, we could get some myriads of heavy rain, which could lead to localized flash flooding. Now, we don't have any flood watches or anything in our immediate area, but as you know, throughout the month of April, we just got soaked with rain. Water levels in some areas may be below flood criteria or below flood stage, but they're still up a bit. So flash flooding is a concern with the thunderstorm activity. It's expected through the day on Wednesday. It will also again be scattered, but if you get under one of those storms and you know your route takes you through a flood-prone area, just be prepared to detour just in case. Thursday, the storms become a bit more scattered, but we still have showers and storms out there through the afternoon into the evening, and then eventually by late evening and overnight, they will clear on out of here and we will be looking pretty good. Highs, again, most of us low to mid 70s. We do still have some upper 60s in place out there, but depending on where you are, you may still have an opportunity to warm a bit. Others, especially in the northeastern Oklahoma, you've kind of reached your peak. We talked about once the clouds thicken up enough, you'll reach your peak of heating and now kind of just level out. East winds still out there 5 to 10, maybe some occasional gusts a little higher than that. Overnight, because of the clouds locking in some of this warmer air, it leads to a milder night tonight, mid to upper 50s, where the last few nights a lot of us have been in the upper 40s. Will be a bit warmer. Still looking at east winds 5 to 10. Of course, thunderstorm chances out there. Same into tomorrow, thunderstorms, but the clouds do the reverse as we head into the afternoon, keeping us a little cooler below normal as we go into the mid 60s for our highs on our Wednesday. Upper 60s return on Thursday, but still below normal. We head into Friday, though. And boy, I'm telling you, it is looking pretty good this weekend, just like this last weekend. We got temperatures hanging out low to mid 70s, sunny skies. We'll hold on to sunny skies as we head into next week, and temperatures continue to warm low to mid 80s possible, but you see, by Thursday, we're also still watching for those thunderstorm chances as we head toward the end of next week. But at least we have another great weekend ahead of us. And at least with this activity as well, we're not dealing with a severe threat here. We've had enough of it. We need a bit of a break, and this will be that break.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. And hey, Friday to Wednesday looks great.
It looks amazing.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, stick around. We're making croissant bread pudding in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Well, today's Mr. Food recipe comes just in time for Mother's Day. It's a gourmet take on a sweet comfort classic. Howard's making croissant bread pudding in the Mr. Food test kitchen.
I hope you remembered that this Sunday is Mother's Day. It's the one holiday you better not forget. After all, Mom was always there with a bowl of hot chicken soup when you had the sniffles, and to wipe away those tears when you needed a shoulder to cry on. With that in mind, we have a simple casserole to say, thanks, Mom, for all you've done. The first thing we do is add some heavy cream to some sugar and egg yolks. After that's mixed well, we add in about 6 croissants that we tore into small pieces, along with an equal amount of white baking chips and dried cranberries. After tossing everything together, we pour it into a baking dish and into the oven it goes. And when the center is set, we top it with a bit of brown sugar, and in no time, it's done. And when you serve this for brunch on Sunday, you can bet Mom will love how ooey gooey delicious it is. So here's what I suggest. Go to our website and get the recipe for what we call croissant bread pudding, so you'll have it on hand for Mother's Day or anytime you need something super special. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today I want to wish my mom and all moms a Mother's Day filled with lots of, ooh, it's so good.
Well, of course, you can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. All you have to do is head on over to our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's take a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, showers and thunderstorms continuing to work their way in today. They will last through at least Thursday evening. No severe weather expected, but some heavy rain tomorrow could lead to some localized flash flooding. Once we get past this, though, got another gorgeous weekend ahead of us and much warmer temperatures by next week.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds great, Chris.
It does
Thanks.
indeed.
Dad, what do you have for us later on?
A lot coming up at 5. For starters, living with type 1 diabetes can have a big impact on women over the course of their lives. We're going to take a look at how experts are getting the word out that education is critical to diabetes care. Plus, community members in Ottawa County hold a support walk to raise awareness of missing or murdered Indigenous persons. And KDOT shares details on paving work underway on K7. Hope you join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's all coming up on KOAM News at 5.
All right, Dal, thanks. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. Have a great rest of your day.